Hello everybody, my name is Lush Eisner and welcome to the Canadian Money Talk, the channel about Canadian investing and personal finance. Please like and subscribe. I put out a video per week, so make sure you ring the notification bell to get notified each time one comes out. I wanted to give you some information and an opinion about wealth inequality in Canada. Be careful of wealth inequality versus income inequality. They are different. One could be making a great income but be spending it all and not accumulating any wealth. This video will concentrate on wealth inequality, which subsumes the income and spending. This is coming from the Broadbent Institute 2012 study on wealth. It is a little leaning towards socialism, and Ed Broadbent, after whom the institute is named, was a leader of the federal NDP many years ago. So the poorest people are on the left, the richest people are on the right in the following diagrams showing wealth. The survey and the study, it was separated into multiple parts. So here's the ideal. 60% of the people own 60% of the wealth. The richest are 3 times richer than the poorest. This is not bad, fairly equal with some benefit to the rich, but also close to communism. How people think wealth is actually distributed is shown here. The richest 20% own 10 times the wealth of the poorest. The richest 20% own half of all the wealth. The bottom 20% own a little more than 5%, but they have some share. And of course, here we have the actual. Canadians vastly underestimate the level of wealth of the rich. 70% of the wealth belongs to 20% of the Canadians. Wealth of the poorest 20% barely registers at 1%, and bottom 10% actually have a negative net worth. Bottom half of Canadians own less than 6% of the wealth. And if you look at financial assets like stocks, excluding real estate, the top 10% hold 60% of financial assets, more than the bottom 90% combined. The top 1% owns 20% of the wealth. To update on the 2012 study, the government actions during the 2020 COVID pandemic have some commentators raising concerns that monetary policy actions, from lower interest rates to large-scale asset purchases, meaning quantitative easing, may have supported the recovery, but in a way that benefited the wealthy the most. On the positive side, we do know that over the last decade, net worth has increased among all income quintiles, with households in the lowest 3 income quintiles seeing the biggest increases over the last 5 years. The overall increase in net worth was in both the value of real estate holdings and financial assets. Aside from the recent pandemic measures, the relatively strong increase for the lowest income group was likely due to a compositional effect. The share of people at retirement age in the lowest income quintile rose over the period. As income typically decreases with retirement, some of them move from a higher income quintile to the lowest income quintile. Since these newly retired households typically have a higher net worth than younger people in the same income quintile, the net worth of this quintile increases. If we look at the growth of different components of wealth, we see that both financial assets and real estate have driven the increase in wealth for all income quintiles, with each being roughly equally important drivers for the 3 lower income groups. Households in the lowest income quintile saw the largest increase in financial assets since 2017. Various government support programs targeted to low-income households during the pandemic period undoubtedly explain some of this in most recent years. That said, compositional changes were also important. In particular, an increase in the share of the retirement age population in the lowest income quintile is a contributing factor to the relatively strong increase in net worth of this group. That's because while income typically goes down with retirement, moving some older households to the lowest income quintile. Many of these households hold financial assets and therefore have higher net worth than younger people in the same income quintile. The composition of net worth also differs across each income group. Real estate and financial assets are the two largest categories of assets. Real estate is the most important asset for people in the lowest income quintile, while financial assets are the most important for those in the highest quintile. You have to decide on your philosophy and choose your government accordingly. Should everyone be equal or separate people according to ability, intelligence, or hard work? Some countries let poor starve. Canada has welfare payments, and people earning more pay more taxes, even though the rich find ways around it. Generally, by not earning a salary and deferring selling of assets. The tax system is skewed towards investors as it is. You need to look at how socialist you want your Canada to be. The elected government could swing the system to make people a lot more equal, but then penalizing success and taking away from capitalism and possibly the ability, intelligence, and hard work that goes into producing wealth. I'll leave you with a final, funny, and yet perhaps appropriate philosophy on wealth that is somewhere between socialism and heartbreaking hardcore capitalism. If you have any requests on what you'd like me to cover in future videos, please put that in the comment section. If you'd like to get in touch, please reach out on any of these social media channels, and may you have a profitable day.